Hello, everybody. You're live in the Open DAO. Thank you guys for joining us today. And if you're part of the Open DAO community, I welcome you to jump into our Discord in the open voice channel at the bottom, where you can unmute yourself and ask me questions. So I'm quite cool. You guys can just unmute yourself and ask me anything you want. And yeah, you can just chit chat. But just make sure that if you say something funny, I will have to disconnect you immediately, because this is being streamed live and it'll be safe in the YouTube database forever and ever. So I'm Angus. I'm from the Education Alliance, one of the core contributors of the Open DAO. And today we are going to be talking about this thing called the SOS markets. All right. So I know a lot of us, when we first heard this, we were like, hey, is this like some kind of a marketplace? So I'm going to say again that, we are not creating a marketplace because we are sort of like an ecosystem player. So, if we create one marketplace, we're going to lose like 10 or even 100 partners, right? For one marketplace that we create. Okay. So we want to work with everybody, so somebody has been asking us like, can we work with Variable? Can we work with Looks, Rare? Can we work with OpenSea? Sure, we totally want to work with every single marketplace. But starting our own marketplace, that's like kind of not aligned with our long-term vision. Yeah. But so what is the SOS markets then? What is it if it's not like a NFT marketplace, right? Okay, so it's actually this thing called a prediction market. Okay, so you'll be asking me like, what is a prediction market? What does it predict? Like, can it tell the future? Can it tell like when moon and all that? I don't know. Okay, but what prediction markets is, right? Okay, basically it's a kind of information market. Okay, so it's a way for people to get some kind of information or data from a kind of a platform. Okay, so let me just try to go a little bit deeper. Okay. So if you guys are familiar, right, last time there was an election, right? So Trump, went against Hillary, right? Yeah. So of course those are like the presidential elections, right? So people will be saying, we always want to know like who's going to win, right? So they'll do a straw poll of people, right? Like, they go out to the streets, they'll catch a few people here and there, and then they'll count how many people vote for this. For example, 60%, 40%, and then they will show these numbers, right? But these numbers have a lot of problems because there are all these statistical problems and all that, right? Okay. So this is a kind of a statistical, okay, information source, right? Okay, there's another kind of thing, right? That is what we're dealing with, called the prediction market. Okay, so if you feel that Trump is going to win, okay, you're going to place your money on the table, okay, and then you'll buy this Trump token. Okay, yes to Trump token, okay, and then you'll put, for example, $1 on it. Okay, so that means you feel that Trump is going to win. Okay, you put your money on the table. Okay, and maybe another guy will come in and say, okay, looking at all these, I've analyzed all the statistics. Okay, the chance of Hillary winning is actually higher, right? So I'm going to buy this no Trump token, okay, for $1. Okay, and basically depending on how many people buy the yes Trump token versus how many people buy the no Trump token, you kind of get a percentage. Okay, sort of maybe if 3 people today buys one of these $1 token, and there are 2 people who buy this no Trump token, okay, this market will resolve to 60% and 40%. Okay, the only thing is that, right, okay, whenever somebody buys into one outcome, okay, this side the token actually costs more and more and more money. Okay, let me say again. Okay, so as you buy more and more into one outcome, okay, the price is going to increase. Okay, so let's say again. Okay, so for example, right, at the start, okay, maybe yes Trump token might be $1. Okay, and then the no Trump token, okay, will be $1. Okay, so this is, for example, a 50-50%, right? 50% outcome, right? Okay, but as information sort of leak out and sort of come out in the market, maybe somebody will feel that, okay, maybe Hillary, maybe Trump is going to lose, right? Because like all this information, so you're going to buy the no Trump token. So the moment somebody buys, okay, maybe this no Trump token will become $1.10. Okay, and then if as more and more people buy, you become more and more expensive, $1.20. Okay, on the flip side, this Trump token is going to become cheaper, right? It become 90 cent. Okay, and then it will become 80 cent. Okay. So when the market finally resolves, like when the poll ends, okay, this thing this thing is what we call when the market resolves. Okay, so when the thing closes, right, it's called resolve. Okay, when the market resolves, okay, the correct outcome will resolve to 0, and the wrong outcome will resolve to 1. So obviously by now we know, right, that Trump won, right? So this will result. Sorry, that was this was the previous election. Yeah, okay. So the previous one was of course Trump won, right? So this is 1, and this one was 0. Yeah. So everybody who's on this end, right, will lose all their money, and everybody on this end, right, okay, will earn all the money from the other side, something like that. So the potential gains from this 80 cent guy is $2. He will gain $2, so he will earn like $1.20. Okay, this is like a super simplified view on the prediction market. Okay, so I know you guys might be confused right now, but you guys got anything you want to ask before I sort of run down some of the terms? You guys can just unmute and just ask me. But if you can't speak, maybe you might have to speak, have to set up your push to talk. No questions? Okay. So let's run through some definitions and terms of reference. Sorry, I should have started with this actually. So the SOS market, okay, is actually a platform. Okay, a platform, and actually more accurately, is actually a D app. It's a decentralized application. So this is 100% running on a blockchain. Okay, so the thing that's running behind is a blockchain. Then as far as I know, we're going to start with the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so all these actions, creating markets, buying and selling, are actually committed directly to the Ethereum blockchain. And then when somebody, and all these different things for people to buy and sell into are called markets. Okay, so every single pole is a market. For example, if you need some kind of information, you want to know, like, okay, will punks will apes flip punks by Feb 15 or something. This is sort of like a market. This is one market, and another one is another market. So do the markets belong to us? No, they don't actually belong to us. Okay, the people who create markets can be anybody. Okay, so anyone can create a market. Okay, but in our platform, of course, not anyone. Okay, we are only letting people with SOS tokens create markets. So you don't need to spend your SOS tokens, but you need to at least hold the SOS tokens in your main Ethereum wallet. Okay, then you'll be eligible to create a market. Okay, so not the stake token. Okay, the stake token is not supported. No, only the SOS token. And how much SOS token at the moment, I'm not sure. But you probably have to hold a certain number of SOS tokens to be able to create a market. And then you can, and then of course you can buy outcomes. So outcomes are like the multiple choice, the questions like the yes or no, or you can create multiple different outcomes. But of course, if you want people to buy into your outcomes, you have to make sure that it's clear, right? So if you give too many choices, or you give a very long, complicated, like, title, people might not know how to do that. Yeah, how to vote on these things. Yeah, so when people vote on these outcomes, they're actually voting with their money. Okay, and we're allowing ETH. Yeah, so for a start, we are allowing ETH, people to just vote with ETH. And where was I? And when the time ends, okay, so you need to set a date that this thing resolves, right? So when the thing ends, okay, we need to resolve the outcome. Okay, so to resolve the outcome, you need the native token of this poker markets. Okay, it's called poke. So poker, we are basically whitelisting poker market, okay, which is like another product. So poker market is already a full run prediction market. and then we are forking their code with their permission, of course. Okay, so the only catch is that, okay, to resolve markets, we need to use the governance token, the poke token. So what does it mean by resolve markets? Okay, so will apes flip punks by February 15? Okay, for example, in this market, let's say if the apes really did flip punk, okay, somebody out there needs to bring in a large bag of poke, okay, and put it on the table and say that, okay, so the punks really did flip apes, okay, and then I prove that, okay, this is the outcome, and then I swear with all my poker tokens that this is the outcome, okay, and then there will be a 3 days. I can't remember what's the term they call this. Okay, I think some kind of cooldown period. There will be a 3-day dispute period. So anybody can come in and challenge this guy, okay, whether this thing actually happened. Yeah, so there's a lot of skin in the game, okay. So to challenge this guy, you need to put up the 2x amount of the poker tokens that this guy had. Okay, so for example, if this guy put up, $1,000 to resolve this market, and he put up a false result that's fake, okay, now this guy had to put up $2,000 worth to dispute this resolution, okay, and every time you try to dispute this thing, okay, this timer will reset, and then you become another 3 days, okay. So if the person who comes in to dispute the market, okay, is successful, they will earn all the poker tokens that the original person came up with. And then of course, if the person who dispute actually brought in the wrong one, another guy will come in and dispute with a larger sum of money, 4,000 poke tokens. And he will take this 2,000 and he'll take this 1,000 from the original guy. So am I going too fast? Do you guys have any questions? Anybody has anything you want to ask or any questions? You can just unmute yourself. I know this is like a pretty new concept for a lot of people. Yeah, but prediction markets are actually a very old concept. And actually, Vitalik Buterin, he wrote a couple of blog posts on this as well. So we are writing our Medium post. So hopefully you can publish it soon. Then you guys can read more in depth some of the technical things. But if there are no other questions, I'm going to move on to the next topic. Are you guys cool?
Just before you move on, please.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, is a prediction market, as you have explained, not similar to gambling to an extent? Because gambling is a regulated activity and it's illegal in very many jurisdictions.
You are absolutely right. So this SOS market is not available to many countries, including the USA. And it's actually, if you first log into the site, later I'll show you guys, a lot of sites actually don't allow prediction markets. But actually the main use case of this SOS market is not really for betting. At least that's not what I want this to be like, actually. But of course, there are going to be people who will bet on or punt on certain events. So, we can't really stop them from doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I find that it's not exactly gambling, because I find it more like a kind of information source. Yeah, so sometimes information is power. Okay, so what kind of power does this new information give us? Okay, so let's just talk about tokens. Okay, so as you guys know, right, fungible tokens, okay, or what we call ERC-20 tokens, or what are like colored tokens, which are like SOS tokens or many other type of tokens, or ETH is not a token, but by the way, like you just kind of lump it in this, right? So like all the different kind of tokens that you have, or like Aave or something, how do we resolve the price of these items, right? These little things, right? Okay, we go through this thing called Oracle service. Can't spell. So we go through these things called the Oracle service. So Oracle is like the largest one. It's called Chainlink. Yeah, so Chainlink will source from all the different decentralized exchanges and all the different centralized exchanges, and then they will find they will balance out all the you will find the average, and then you'll tell you, okay, today the Ether is 3,200, for example, and then this is a very clear-cut price feed. Okay, the problem is when it comes to non-fungible tokens or what we call the unique tokens or NFTs, NFTs, there is no such price feed. Okay, the only price feed we have is OpenSea API, which is sort of like a centralized source of information, which is subject to which is subject to bugs and other manipulation. Yeah, so because there's only this like single price feed, it makes a lot of applications very difficult to work on. For example, trading, financialization, or some kind of collateralization, right? So without good information, there's just no way you can collateralize a NFT, for example. Yeah. So today, we are creating another kind of information source, which is a prediction market, right? So it is possible that in the future we can use these prices to create new products. Okay. So I want to like, stretch your brain a little bit. Okay. So if today I can resolve a price, okay, for example, NFT, okay, this might be quite an innovation. Okay. So you see, if you can resolve, like, for example, Bored Ape, right, to, based on a prediction market, you can tell that, okay, sort of like, based on the prediction market that SOSMarket is telling you, maybe Bored Apes are worth like, 80 ETH or something, right? You can actually use this as a price feed into some kind of a lending platform, right? So you can say that, okay, this is what the general public kind of think this thing is worth. Okay, so maybe we can give like a 50% collateralization. Okay, we allow you to loan 40 ETH out from this. So this is a sort of a more kind of better quality information compared to, for example, like from an API, because people are actually putting up money to support this number, based on the prediction market. They have skin in the game. Okay, so this is just one of the applications that we can possibly do. But of course, there are other things that you can do with this. Okay, for example, if you hold a large bag of NFTs, for example, I have an Atom Bomb Squad, I've got like 120 of them. That's pretty large bag, right? Maybe like 200,000 US dollars worth, right? And maybe I want to be prudent, okay? I want to make sure that at least my kids, even if this thing goes to zero, if ABS rungs, which is not possible, impossible to run, but let's say if it does, I want my kids to at least have a peace of mind to be able to go to college, right? Although this is highly speculative, okay, but I can create a pretty predictive market on ABS, okay? So will ABS price, okay, go to zero, okay, by December 2022, okay? So there's a yes outcome and there's a no outcome, okay? So instead of buying the no outcome, which is not possible, right? I can buy the yes outcome, okay? So maybe what I can do is I can put up $2,000, okay, and put it inside the yes outcome, okay? So what this works, right? Okay, if ABS really ranks and it really becomes zero, okay, I'm going to get at least a 10x on this, right, or 100x on this, so I'm going to get like 200,000 back, which is magic, right? So this kind of works like a hedge, right? You're kind of like shorting your own position. Okay, so all these are not financial advice. I'm just sharing with you guys what I understand and what are the possibilities that can happen with this prediction market. Okay, so based on this, okay, we can have hedges, we can have options, okay, which are all these are sort of like derivative financial products. Okay, so I'm not going to go too deep into these kind of things, okay, but I'm just telling you guys that this is one possibility of use case. Okay, another use case will be, okay, when I was around the Metaverse drop, I don't know whether you guys were around the Metaverse drop. Okay, I really hated that project, because, well, the art is nice, but the project is really shitty. I mean, the team leaders at that time, right? They actually, there's a lot of disputes between the dev and the team, and if you try to like talk about anything fuddy inside the Discord, you're immediately banned. And there was like so much hype around it, and the minting process was such a horrible process where some guy just, he basically just minted everything. He botted the process of this whitelisting, right? So if at that time I had this kind of information, right, I know that the price is going to drop, right, but there's no way to short it, right? Shorting a market means that, right? Okay, I have to go and borrow a mecha. Okay, I have to sell it in the market first and get my 10 ETH for whatever price it was. And then later on, when it crashes, I buy it back at maybe 1 ETH, and return it to this, this guy who's holding the mecha, who wants to hold it long term. So there's no such thing as shorting the market, which is actually a pretty shitty thing to do, actually. But with prediction markets, there is possibility to do that. Okay, so you can say that, okay, would mecha, floor price reach 1 ETH, by I don't know when it dropped. I can't remember when it dropped. By October 2021. Okay, so yes or no. Okay, so of course all the people in the project are like, they're going to put like no, right? So maybe they'll pump this up to 80, right? Okay, so for you, okay, you just put in 20 cents or something like that, and then you can basically have a very outsized returns, based on some inside information that you have. Yeah, and it's sort of a way that you can sort of short the market in this and earn an upside. So if you feel that any NFT projects out there is ruggy or very dirty or something bad is going to happen, yeah, with your SOS tokens you can go ahead and start a market. And not financial advice, but being the first to start the market, you actually have an advantage. Okay, because when you first start the market, okay, the market is set at 50% and 50%. Okay, so the moment you start it, okay, immediately you can go and buy. It's probably the cheapest to buy, the outcomes. Yeah, so if you think it's going to rock, you can go ahead and go and buy and put your money on the line. But be mindful that if your outcome is wrong, you can lose everything. So everything I presented is not financial advice. All these are definitely alpha. I leave it up to you guys how you guys want to do this alpha. But yeah, if you play it right, there's definitely good things you can do with the information.
This is super exciting.
Yeah, I think it is really super exciting for me, and the speed at which we are launching is just really insane. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys the platform. The platform right now is in closed. Our platform is right now in closed beta. We are going to do some more testing within our internal team first, before we opening up for open beta, where more and more community members can go in and try. But I'm just going to show you guys a glimpse of what we're building right now. So it's not perfect, but I can assure you that we are working very hard behind the scenes to to improve the product as we speak. So it's at this URL, so you can see. So SOSMarket is 100% decentralized protocol for information and educational purposes only. So it's not for betting. It's not for any speculative things that we just spoke about just now. It's really just FYI. Okay. So the SOSMarket is really we are a platform. So we do not have any custody or control over the markets. So basically, we don't have a way to ban people from creating markets or that. You can create a market as long as you hold SOS tokens. Okay. So the SOS market displays existing markets live on the EVM or side chains, and it's a graphic user interface for visualizing data. Okay, so basically this is what they're trying to tell you is this is the DApp. Okay, the data actually, all the protocols actually live on the blockchain and they're smart contracts. Okay, so you are not a US citizen, you are not a US person, and you're not using VPNs. So there are some terms of service and there are some risks and disclosures, but mainly it's just trying to tell you that, hey, we don't own the markets and we're not responsible if you lose all your money on this. So we'll try to be geared towards NFTs. So verified markets are markets that the dev team and the trusted sources have listed. So right now nobody is trusted, but so you have to kind of uncheck that. So you can kind of see that this is how exactly it's going to look like. So you guys like Irene DAO? Do you guys buy into Irene DAO? It's a free means, right? This is really smart girl, she's like in Singapore and she's probably like a girl next door to where I stay. Yeah. So, no matter whether you like her NFT or not, you can make a prediction, right? So Irene Dow at this, collection floor price will be above 1.5 ETH in 2 days' time. If you strongly feel that that's going to happen, you can. So apparently, somebody already thinks that it's going to crash. So somebody is trying to short it already. So as you buy more and more of the no outcomes, that means you go and sell shares. Okay, this outcome you kind of split, right? So based on this, you can see what is the market sentiment, right? So people are feeling that the floor price is going to drop below 1.5 ETH. So if you feel that it's going to go above 1.5 ETH, okay, you can go and vote for yes outcome, and put all your money inside. Okay, so they actually show you that you're staking this much. Wait, let me just see. Yeah. So if you're right, you can win your own money and what everyone else has put in. Okay, so based on that, you can look at what other people has put in. Oh, sorry, I forgot about this. So when you create a market, you have to add liquidity. Okay, when you add liquidity, what it means that you actually have half a share of each side. 0.05. Yeah, you can basically put as much or as little as you want. Yeah, and if you don't want to participate in this kind of prediction market, you can also be a liquidity provider. So for adding and removing liquidity, you can actually do that. And I think there's a 2% fee, that you earn when people buy or sell whichever direction, So you can always still earn money as a liquidity provider. So that's how it works. But if okay, there's some mechanics involved, okay? If the market is very skewed, like right now, right? Okay, if you add liquidity, okay, you are going to be buying more of one outcome than another. Okay, this is a little bit technical, which I'll not cover in today's talk. But basically, if you want to add liquidity, you try to buy a liquidity that is, you try to buy into a market that is kind of more stable, like, more 50-50, then you are less likely to suffer losses. Okay, so you add or remove liquidity. Yeah, so of course, you see the potential return is quite low because the liquidity in the market is quite low, 0.01 and 0.01, only 0.02. So the max you can, earn is not much right now in this particular pool, right? But of course, in the real pool, you'll be different, right? Okay, these are just test pools, just for show. So you guys got anything you wanted to ask, like about this thing? So for us, at a glance, you can see, okay, this is what the market sentiment is right now. Yeah. So not financial advice, but it's just market sentiment. Yeah. So you don't have to ask your friend what's the floor price anymore. You can ask the open market. You can ask the SOS market. Any questions? You guys got any markets you want to suggest? I can create one right now.
I don't even know what to suggest. This is like wildly exciting.
Yeah, I mean, prediction markets are not new, but prediction markets for NFTs, I think is probably something quite new.
Yeah, 100%. The people on my home server are going to be super excited because like this is very similar to options market, and like there's going to be a lot of interaction with this. I can guarantee it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very interesting source of information for us. Yeah, so I'm going to say some of the mechanics again, okay? So when you create a market, okay, you need to hold the SOS tokens in your wallet. So apparently I have 5,000 these testnet SOS. So you can kind of like type what you want. Okay, would the global warming kill us all by 2022 February? Yeah. So you can write the outcomes yourself, and you need to kind of create an image. Okay, I'm just going to randomly put an image. Okay, I'll just randomly put one image. So put some interesting images, right? Because it makes it easier for people to scroll through. So this is like a politics, about the, what should I put this? The global warming. So you have to kind of resolve a market. So this is very important, okay? So the closing time is kind of like very important. So because it's by February, right? So I'm going to put it February. Oh, it's local time. So, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so you need to put up a little bit of ETH as the initial liquidity. So I'm just going to put a little bit. So what it means, right? Okay, you are actually earning a trading fee of 2%. And when you put in this, right, okay, you're actually buying 0.005 of the yes outcome and 0.005 of the no outcome. So you're basically the market. I think my computer is lagging so badly. My MetaMask is not coming out. Because I'm like sharing my screen on 2 different places. Hold on, my computer is lagging really badly. Okay. Yeah, so the SOS tokens are just in your wallet, just to show that you are a SOS holder so that you can utilize this platform. So you actually don't need to spend your SOS tokens. And then to create markets, you need to put up a little bit of ETH as a liquidity provider. And to buy and sell into the markets, you need to use ETH. Yeah. And okay, right now the testnet transaction is running. So everything, all these markets are actually created on the on the blockchain, so you'll be safe on the blockchain. I think the first version will be on Ethereum, but I suspect we will probably have to bridge it to other chains where the gas fees are lower. Eventually, yeah. So it's been successfully created. So if you go into the politics, probably can see that market appearing. Oops. So if you guys got any feedback you want to give about the user interface or anything that you guys feel like you can include, you just let me know, and then we will write into on devs. Where is my market that I just created? Right, so you can see. So when you first create, right, okay, it's 50%. Okay, but because you're the first one that creates, right, okay, you're actually the first one to, so if you feel that this is definitely this is not gonna happen, right, so you can straight away and go and buy, buy these shares already, right? And because you're the only one that, oh wait, the price per share, okay, yeah, so you can straight away buy this. Yeah, so that's kind of how you can front run the thing. You'll be the first one to create the market, so you have a chance to kind of buy the first outcome. Yeah, so that's one. So how do you resolve markets? Okay, so let's just look at some of these markets that have so you can see these tabs, right? Okay, these are open ones. Okay, the ones that are closed, okay, that means it's past the deadline, it will go under this in reporting, and it will wait for people to resolve. Okay, to resolve, you need the governance token of Poker, POLK. So I think you have to buy that token from I think SushiSwap, or yeah, POLK, or I think you have to buy it from KuCoin or something. So if you click into it, you can see that this has expired. We'll poke moon, okay, yes or no. Okay, so earn poke by reporting the correct outcome. Yeah, so you have to choose an outcome, okay, yes or no. And if you feel that this this outcome or this vote is invalid, okay, you can put invalid as well. Okay, so is it going to moon? But this is an invalid poll because it didn't write a date. It never say like when is it going to moon and all that. Okay, so I'm going to put an invalid bond. Okay, and I'm going to put up for example, how much? Okay, so you have to put up a minimum of this amount of tokens, right? So I think there's quite a lot of tokens actually. See how? Sorry, the minimum amount to bond is this amount. Yeah, so you need to actually put up quite a bit of tokens, so you make sure that yeah, so make sure that you kind of put in the correct outcome. Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. Okay, the thing is, this market has already been resolved. Okay, somebody has already put up this amount of tokens on the table. Yeah, so basically, if I try to put another outcome, right? Okay, I'm basically disputing the outcome. So that's why I kind of had to put up double the amount of poke tokens to dispute this guy. Okay, yeah. So this guy put yes. Yeah, but I don't have any like testnet poker tokens, so I can't really do this. Can I? I think I can't. Yeah, I don't think I've got any testnet poker tokens. I got to get the devs to send me. Yeah, so basically, once you click this, okay, you will stay in this mode for 3 days. And after 3 days, okay, you will go to this tab called Resolve, where you'll get back all your poker tokens as well as some of the rewards. Yeah. So what is it for us, okay, as a SOS holder? Okay, so there is a little bit of platform fee from all this trading, and basically we are going to put up another snapshot poll, so you guys can vote on what we want to do with the tokens. Yeah. So I think there's been some suggestions to like put it in a staking pool or or to burn it. Yeah. So I am personally not for burning. So we are ecosystem token, so we are not inflationary. So there's actually no purpose for us to burn tokens. Yeah, it's actually better for us to put it in a treasury for future development or to reward our stakers. So all put inside our staking pool to reward the future stakers. Yeah. So please vote wisely, guys. And I think I've come to the end of the sharing session. I think I've given you guys like more alpha than you need. And let's go for some Q&A.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Are we like, do we have a list of like where this is going to be originally available? Like, is this going to be available in the US to start?
No, so US is definitely out.
That is horrible.
I'm sorry. It's not us. It's your country.
It's not your fault. I know. It's the worst. It's a raging dumpster fire. Sad days for all. Okay, do we have a list of places that will be accepted?
There was a TNC somewhere. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure US is excluded.
Oh, I bet you $100 it is. That's you'd have to have so many. I don't even know if they would like, if you tried to get an approval from this from a regulatory agency, they would just raise their eyebrows at you and then throw your application over the table.
Yeah, so okay, let's run through some of the Discord questions. Okay, so Jur123 says the idea is very good. To be honest, I just think we should really try to prevent people losing all their money. Okay, so when you put your money on the table on a certain outcome, it's dynamic, so when there's new information that changes, you can kind of like sell, you can kind of like change your position, right? So if you change your position, and it resolves to the correct outcome, then you won't lose your money. You know what I mean? So for example, if you think if you bet for an event and the event you have new information to know that it's not going to happen, you can actually sell your own position and then change your position. So when it resolves, you still get back your money, sort of. But if you are like in denial and you and you hold on to the thing till the end, you backhold to the end, you're going to lose all your money. So that's the problem with this. Yeah. So
yeah, but also people should not put something there they can't afford to lose. Like if they depend on the money, they shouldn't put it in.
yes, so don't put your lunch money there or your rent money there. That's
Exactly.
just insane. Did they say if this will be on Polygon too? Right now we are deploying on Ethereum firstly, but I'm sure later on we will bridge to all the different networks as well. So isn't it a bit unsafe to have our name attached to a market we cannot control, although it's a disclaimer? Yeah, so that's how it works in a decentralized world. So it's going to be hard for us to kind of like go and look through everything. But obviously, if something is really spammy, I'm not sure whether our user interface will have a way to hide them. But of course, you can just tick and show the verified contracts only. So if you look at the platform, there's this thing called verified markets. So so this will be the ones that are verified by the team, sort of. Yeah. So the rest are like, not verified. Lately there's been a lot of pump and dump. Oh, but anyway, people are quite smart. If there's something very seriously wrong with the market, nobody's going to participate in it. Yeah. Lately there's been a lot of pump and dump schemes with big influencers. Imagine big influencers sketchy project, but short it. They have a lot of inside information. There's going to be a rug. Yeah, so yeah, if you feel that this thing is going to be a rug, yeah, you can go vote with your money on a prediction market, right? So next time, if there are new people or there are SOS holders, before you mint or buy into some project, you look at the prediction market and you're like, hey, strange, why does it look like that, right? Then maybe you might not want to mint or buy that token or buy the NFT based on your prediction market, right? So I find that this is a good source of information for us. Yeah, additional source of information you can look at. So the thing I'm asking is, isn't it better to create a little verification quiz or introduction that Binance has as well? Yes, there'll probably be a walkthrough and things like that, but I'm quite sure that a lot of people are just going to click it away and, they're just going to read, they're just going to read it. They won't read it, yeah. So it's kind of like crypto people. Is there a bot or team to check what people are opening markets about? No, we don't have a way to check. Okay, but we have a way to check what are the verified markets. Yeah, so of course some we will put the verified markets on top. They will rank higher. Yeah, but there's no way we can it's just not fair. If we block. The whole idea of the Web3 space is an open world. We don't want to be like a censorship police going out there to censor everything. It's just kind of against the Web3 principles. But of course, if something is seriously spammy or something is seriously like horrible or something, we'll have to remove it. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, we can't remove it because it's on a smart contract, but we can hide it from the user interface. But if you really, really want to interact with it, you probably still can. So the next question is, would you make NFT vaults where people can put their NFTs and earn money, sort of like NFT vaults, except using their token to then long or short? Or purely, this is such a... Okay, so the NFT vaults is actually one of our next products that we are building. Okay, but without a proper price feed for the NFT vault, or sort of, we're just depending on the OpenSea price feed, that puts a lot of vulnerability on the protocol and a lot of possibility for manipulation. So hopefully with this additional source of information and maybe with more sources of information, then we will be able to build a better NFT vault. Yeah. Sort of like NFT vault, except they're using and then of course, when you have built all these primitives, right, people can take our products and they can build further derivative products, and definitely you can build long short options and weird kind of markets that never existed or cannot even be imagined today. Yeah, so all those are possible in the future. But for this product, it is a primitive. It's a prediction market that gives information, so it is a primitive. Yeah, so I think these are like all different questions, not related. Okay, we got the last 13 minutes. You guys got anything you want to ask? You can just unmute yourself and ask. You can ask me anything except when moon, because we will moon when all our products are launched and working, and everybody in the ecosystem and all the SOS token holders are using all these products. That's when we'll moon. And not just using these products, but are happy using these products. So if you guys missed the session right before this, there's some appetite to create an Open DAO Academy. So our Open DAO Academy will be a platform for us to train the future leaders. So the most of the teaching and training will be out for public use, but to get a full certificate or something, you have to kind of be inside the college, yeah, inside the Open DAO Academy. So you'll be pretty intense, like 10 hours per week times about 10 weeks, plus about 30 or 40 hours of project work. So pretty intense. Yeah, so that's what we plan to do. That's what I plan to do for the Open DAO Academy. But it's quite ambitious. So we definitely need, teachers to step up to help. I think at least another senior teacher who has experience in this. So yeah, most of these workshops or courses, academies need at least 2 good teachers. Yeah, so I need at least a partner who can work with me on this product. Yeah, so that's the Open DAO Academy. So if there are no other questions, I will end the session early. Anybody got stuff to ask, or you can type in the chat as well.
Yeah, maybe it's a lot to digest for right now, and then once it's live, people may have new questions, and then we might do a new session with, like, once people experienced it and played with it, because I guess it's a lot to take on for now.
Yeah, I do agree. It's quite overwhelming. Yeah, that's how I
Especially
feel.
if, some people are used to trade options, but if you're not used to it, then it's a bit different and whatnot. So I think, I think we may have to host a few others of these along the line, down the line.
Yeah, but I've given you guys some alpha, so make sure you take and learn how to use this alpha, and not financial advice, okay? I think I see people are trying to type, so there is no KYC involved. So we are like a Web3 kind of company. So the Open DAO is a DAO. So we are not yet incorporated in the physical location yet. So I think that's something our legal guild is looking at right now. And the SOSMarket is an informational and educational platform. It's not meant for any funky betting or like weird stuff. Yeah, it's just information for us to know more information about the NFT markets. So I think we are building a prediction market so that we can get the NFT price oracle. With the oracle, we will be able to build an NFT lending platform. That is one possibility, but I'm not going to promise anything.
Definitely want to link up later on a one-on-one if you have the time about the academy. But this is really cool. I'm gonna probably look into moving to a different country so I can go get on this market.
Is Chainlink incorporating anyway? I would love to use Chainlink, but I don't think Chainlink has an NFT oracle yet. Yeah, that is definitely something useful to look at. I think right now this market is resolved by people. There's a couple of complicated technology that is backing this resolution, but right now it's mostly by people that is bringing up their poke tokens as a collateral. So I'm going to let these guys finish typing first because they seem like they've got some things to ask. Very impressive speech. We are planning to build this market in multi-chain or just Polygon. I can't promise anything right now, but all I can tell you is that we are planning to launch on Ethereum, and I'm pretty sure that we will want to build on multi-chains. I mean, Polygon or what are other like popular chains right now? I'm not so familiar. I'm not like playing all this, but I think like BSC or all the EVM chains, what Phantom or Avalanche, XDAI. Yeah, I'm quite sure we will try to build for all these chains as well. But I think right now, based on the active users, I think the largest users are probably still on Ethereum and Polygon. Yeah, because you have to like resolve, you have to create markets with SOS. So if it's on Polygon, you probably have to bridge some SOS tokens over. So like Matic Polygon, Matic SOS tokens. So you don't like want to bridge to a chain and there's no liquidity there. There's nobody participating there. So our dev time is very precious. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, how can I forget that? Yes. So layer 2 solutions definitely. Yeah. So like Arbitrum, ZK Sync, all this. Yeah, definitely. That's a great idea. Yeah, definitely is for the future. Yeah, how can I forget this? I need sleep, by the way. It's really late for me.
I just wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
I'm wondering, is there a criteria for selection of NFT projects you can bet on the prediction market?
No, actually,
just essentially all NFT projects.
No, actually, essentially, there's going to be so many markets. Of course, you want to choose as somebody who is putting up the market, you're putting up some money on the table, right? So you want to make sure that people will want to bet on that market. So if you're putting up some dead project that nobody has heard about, nobody's going to participate in your market, right? So you're basically just wasting money and gas fees. So you're probably going to, put up, if you're a market creator, you probably want to create markets that are very popular, very controversial topics right now, and people are very willing to participate. As a market creator, you want to create something very controversial, because you want people to buy and sell, right? Then you earn the 2% trading fees. Yeah. So it does take a certain kind of skill, right? So you have to be crawling like the news and the crypto Twitter for interesting stuff, and whenever some of this interesting stuff pops out, you can create a market, and I think some people can make a living doing that. I can imagine. And there are some people who are just very good at telling the future. So yeah, these guys, is a natural fit for them. They use their knowledge to earn their money. Yeah, for them it's not betting because they have certain methodology where they study and they understand the market and they know what are the percentages. Yeah, there are this type of people out there, but that's not me. Yeah, so which is why this is not like a betting platform. Yeah, it's an informational platform. So he says, okay, I gotta go now. Both the call, can't wait to see you on the next one. Yep. For this SOS market, we will hold a Twitter space on during launch, and then we will cover some of these points over again. And there will be a couple more tutorials that we'll hold on how exactly to use the platform. And regarding the Open DAO Academy, next week we will hold a session weekly on the same issue. And then we'll keep talking about the same thing over and over again until we get it into snapshot and voted on. And I'm going to close off. Any last burning questions? Otherwise, I thank you for your time. I thank you for dropping into Open DAO, and I hope to see you contribute to the Open DAO, and I hope to see you around. Oh, Cyborg wants to say something, is it?
No. Just thank you so much for all of your explanations and for taking the time to walk us through.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys, and good night. Bye.